After the Deadpool Secret Lair, I was hopeful that WotC had this figured out, but obviously they did not. The Final Fantasy Secret Lair has come and gone, and most people have a bad taste in their mouth. It sold out in less than 24 hours, and worse than that, it wasted a ton of people's times. We have a bad website meeting with scalper exploitation, with maximum quantities being a little higher than they should be, and FOMO-fueled design all colliding into the train wreck that happened yesterday. But it's not all doom and gloom. I want to try and give you some advice on how to get these for the cheapest possible on the secondary market while not rewarding scalpers as much as we possibly can. Joel R. Magic is brought to you by Card Conduit, the best place to sell your cards quickly and easily on the internet. TCG Player, the best place to buy them. Dragon Shield, the best way to protect them. And Moxfield, the best way to put your deck lists on the internet. It's funny, on the wall behind me, I've got the uncut War of the Spark sheet that was the apology from the Mythic Edition going so poorly. And I think Final Fantasy is just going to get tossed onto the pile. The lines were obtuse, long. People didn't really even know if they were in line. They were getting kicked out. They wasted a ton of their time, and that's really where the most frustration lies with me. People being in line all day, making arrangements to get this product the way that they're being delivered it, and not being rewarded, and not only not being rewarded, but being sort of slapped in the face. It's one thing if you show up on time, you get in the queue and they're like, sorry, you weren't randomly chosen to be one of the purchasers. Stay in line if you want to. As people get their opportunity and don't purchase, we'll add people to the list or whatever, but you didn't get it. Goodbye. At that point, at the very least, you're not wasting your time. You can go back to work or you can go back to whatever you were doing. You don't have to just sit there and watch our little friend walk to the side like we have become so accustomed to. I saw people saying there was a line skip link for this one. I saw people get in ahead of time. So what you can do, the way the website is designed, you can go to the website earlier that day and put something that's already available in your cart and click checkout. It's not going to be allowing checkouts at that time, but it's going to put you into a pool of people that are waiting, and then it randomly assigns everybody an order in that line that were waiting, and then you've got the people that join after. And I think that's where a lot of people lost out on this one, is that over time people have become sort of aware of that. I don't know if you should call it an exploit or if it's just part of the process at this point, but going to the store early and getting into that randomized pool where you'll be putting some random order, but everybody, I'm assuming, gets dumped in the line, and then anybody that jumps in after the fact, I believe, is just added to the end of the line. You can tell me in the comments if your experience was different. If you got in and purchased, I would say if you weren't there in advance and you purchased within 15-20 minutes of it going live, I would say that sort of refutes what I'm saying here. But that is the only known exploit or process that I know to give yourself any better chance. I was there in that randomized pool, and that's, I think, why I had success getting mine. I got the foil weapons and the foil grimoire. Those were the two that I got. But the vast majority of people didn't. I asked you and you responded that nearly 20% of you got everything you wanted, but 63% of you didn't get anything you wanted. And that's kind of ridiculous. The Deadpool one went so well. It's still sold out, but it went well enough where it felt like everybody who wanted it got it. But with this Final Fantasy one, that is definitely not true. Honestly, I think with a better system, a better website, something more transparent that shows you got it or you didn't, don't waste your time, or it's worth staying here and wasting your time to get this thing, something like that would make this way more smooth. There's going to be people who still complain. Obviously, it's a limited product. FOMO is, scarcity is enforced. FOMO is part of the whole model. That's always going to be a part of this. And so they could just fix that by going print to demand, but they've made it very clear that's not what they're going to do. They went to that model and then they swap back. And it's very rare for a major corporation like this to swap how they were doing something and then go, that's not working, and swap back and then go, maybe it was, and then swap back again. That's not happening. So I understand the print to demand complaints, but that's just not a reality most likely, except with those one-offs, those charity ones that they provide that for. And so we just got to work with the system the way it is. And so what I would ask for is a better system. Like I said, a ticket taking system, a number system, a pre-order system. I don't know how that's really any different, but something where we can queue up, get our spot in line, maybe not even have to wait. Can I get a text message when I'm ready to roll? That could be something convenient. It just feels like Hasbro, you've got enough money. You can put a good system around this. Take the proceeds from one of these things in the millions and be like, all right, we're going to fix this system so that at least that part's not a problem anymore. Most of what I'm seeing, though, is people losing all faith that WotC wants to fix this at all. This might just be how it is. From what I've seen, there haven't been enormous cancellation waves. I think that's what the pausing had to do with yesterday when this whole thing was in process. But I feel like the wasted time is the part that I am the most focused on they need to fix, because that is a pain point that could really smooth a lot of this overall negative process out. I think there was a really perfect storm with this drop. We can see how much hype there has been around this Final Fantasy set. I think it's surpassing even what I expected, and so I would assume it's surpassing what a lot of people expected. This Final Fantasy release season has just been crazy over the top with demand in all arenas, and so having this secret lair be something that's super desirable makes sense to me. There's also going to be scalpers attracted to that. Everything I've heard from Final Fantasy collectors is that Final Fantasy collectors like to spend money. That's something they're very used to, and scalpers are going to know that. And so absolutely there were scalpers. I mean, look at the secondary market already. You've got 3 sets, 3 of each, one of each, basically one of each of the 3 Final Fantasy drops sold for $250 non-foil. That's like $83 per drop non-foil. But look, this is hype pricing right now, and that's one of the big points I want to make in this, and what I'm going to show you with some stats over the next few minutes. Right now, price-wise, I'm seeing the foil price for any of the drops be like $75 to $80. You can see right there, Final Fantasy Secret Lair weapons foil confirmed order, $75 with $4 delivery, $70 for foil grimoire right there with $8.71 delivery. And so right now, $75, buy it now, weapons non-foil right there. That is around the price that I am seeing for them on the secondary market. However, I don't think it's the time to buy, and let me tell you why. The people that are listing these right now are the scalpers, are the big stores. We bought a ton, and we're confident that they're going to arrive. We bought so many that we are not going to have to cancel 90% of the orders because we know that it's coming in. The individuals that resell this after the fact, you know, Ricky that buys 2 copies to wait and resell one and get the first one for free, that's a legit strategy for individual buyers, but they're not going to have the confidence to list this until after it arrives in hand, and we're not going to get this in hand until shipping is complete, and shipping doesn't start until June 11th, which is, check my calendar, tomorrow as of time of shooting this video. And so I would encourage you to wait like a week or 2 before you go to the secondary market if you didn't get this and you want to buy it on the secondary market. I think that prices are going to go down even further. I know the fervor and the hype seems like a ton right now, but overall, this is something that's very common. Look at the Deadpool Secret Lair. This is the Deadpool Rainbow Foil Edition right there, sold $55, $10 delivery. Foil edition right there. You got individual copies of some of the cards that they broke open, and that's another great point, is that some people, like I was talking about, bought 4 of these just to have 4 lightning bolts or 4 prismatic ending. They're going to sell some of those other copies individually on the secondary market. And so not only sealed secret layers, but individual copies of cards as well are going to be available. Look at this. The Deadpool layer sold out in about 24 hours. Right now you can get a rainbow foil of it for $70. And yes, that's $30 more than this cost. I think this was a $40 layer in foil. I can't remember if this one was a little more expensive, but it's more. I get it, but it's not over the top. It's not double. You're going to be able to find this in a good timeline as long as you wait. Look at the Deadpool April Fool's Day rainbow foil. Had a little bit of hype. People went, oh no, I missed it. Oh no, I missed it. Tank. As soon as people get it in hand and the individual sellers have confidence to put it on the market, that is when you're going to see prices go. Look at Deadpool April Fool's Day non-foil. Boom, 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 tank. We're down into the 50. We're down into the 40s. High 40s for the non-foil. Right now, we're under it. 43. What the heck? Be patient. Look at Secret Lair X Marvel's Deadpool April Fool's Day on TCG Player. Widely available, y'all. $65 with $1 shipping. Here's a certified $61.70 with $4.99 shipping. My point is that even the secret layers that sell out can be purchased on the secondary market. Let's look at the Storm secret layer from the Marvel drop. The last time that this all just went completely sideways and people were so pissed. Yes, right now, $86, $100, $90. This one has doubled, but there's still copies on the secondary market. You can still go get it in some cases, and if you're careful, for less than double what it costs off the Secret Lair website, and that sucks. I completely understand. But what I'm telling you is if you missed it, your window is going to be at about a week or two, and you're going to want to watch for like 3 weeks until you find a price you're comfortable with and you want to pull the trigger and grab it. That is how you're going to get this the cheapest if you miss the opportunity from the debacle. And honestly, it's the same thing with the Storm layer. If you look at its chart over time, it has evened out right there, but it popped and then it dropped. It's very similar to a lot of how I talk about singles after they get released. Wait, give it a couple of weeks and then you're going to be in a better situation. Don't let FOMO drive you to make a purchase that's dumb right now, or at least help if you wait and save yourself $20. Even over on TCG Player, you've got Marvel Storm for $88, $3 shipping, $91 straight up. That's about double to my memory of what this costs for the rainbow foil, but you can see over the last 6 months, it's not even at its high, 108. It's down to 91. This one is dropping. Watch these secret layers. It's not always all FOMO. And look, I get it. It might just be a crazy one. The Final Fantasy one might change all of everything that's ever happened and act completely differently. It might. But I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of these available because I think that the race to the bottom is going to start as soon as individual sellers have these in their hands, and Ricky just wants to flip that extra copy and be like, I just want to be done with it. I saw that it would be a good idea to buy 2 because this was hyped and I had the opportunity, freaked out and bought them, and now I'm stuck with it. What do? I need to sell it. That's when it's going to be cheapest. And look, if you missed this one and you want some advice for how to not miss these in the future, find a group, find a community. I cannot recommend this enough. With quantity limits not being lowered, you only need one of the pals to get through. We only need Ricky to get through, and Ricky can buy all of it for us, and then we can Venmo him, and hopefully there's no problems with shipping when it has to be reshipped to us. Find a group. Join our Discord. Go check the description. Our Discord is on Secret Layer days all together. How do we do this? Can you order for me? I'll order for you. If I get through, I'll let you know. Can't tell you how many people got this as a result of, hey, I'm in. Do you want anything? Are you still in queue? I'll order for you. I mean, I know it's like letting your friends in line in front of you, and that's going to piss some people off. But if you want to give yourself the best shot of getting these high demand, low availability secret layer drops, get a community, get a friend group, have multiple people trying to do this together. I can't encourage it enough. Overall, to Wizards, I would encourage some balance. The Deadpool one went pretty well. It's still sold out, so collectors are still going to be happy long term, even though the price of that one is not like exploding in the short term. And people were able to get it. I wish that that had been the case with Final Fantasy, because the collectability is going to be there long term. Maybe not in the short term. You saw what secret layers tend to do in the short term, but long term, the collectability is going to be there. I don't know why we couldn't have had more stock. I don't know maybe why the quantity limits couldn't have been lower, or just please get some system going, some website fix that makes it easier and more transparent as to what's going on, so that I don't have to waste my time if I don't have to, and I can just get the thing if I'm going to be given the opportunity. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.